What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys a late review, but a highly anticipated review. Technically, the 2019 movie reviews aren't over yet. We got this one and another one coming out this weekend. I have been dying to see this movie for over a month. Many people have already seen it and reviewed it. It was a limited release in Christmas time, and now 2 weeks later, it is now a worldwide release. That is for Sam Mendes' war epic 1917. This movie stars Dean Charles Chapman, George McKay, Benedict Cumberbatch, Colin Firth, Mark Strong, and Richard Madden. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. In 1917, during World War I, we followed two young British soldiers, Dean Charles Chapman and George McKay, who were given very important strict orders to walk across German enemy lines to deliver an important message, to call off next morning's attack because they're walking into a trap, and as well as one of the soldiers' brother is among one of those soldiers that are crossing into death. I'm a huge buff for war movies whenever they're getting high anticipation and praise. Like Hacksaw Ridge a couple of years ago was my favorite movie of 2016. Mel Gibson, that was a return to triumph for him as he got the love he deserved. And then whenever you have a war movie that comes out that gets way too overpraised, you can end up walking out disappointed. That's how I felt with Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk a couple of years ago. If you are a subscriber to my channel, you know my controversial opinions about Dunkirk. I felt that movie was overhyped for me walking out of it, as that movie really had a lack of character development as it focused on these people in a terrible situation. And that was my big worry walking into 1917. I was having those worries and questions going in. Am I going to feel the same about this movie that I did with Dunkirk, or is this going to do something completely different with that genre and filmmaking? But then when I found out that this movie was going to be filmed like it's one continuous shot, like Birdman, I was like, okay, I'm interested for something different in this one continuous shot film, but except with a war movie. Did 1917 disappoint me? No frickin' way. 1917 is the most brutal, realistic, shocking, and scary war movies I've seen since Hacksaw Ridge. And it might be better than Hacksaw Ridge. I'm kind of sad that I did my top 10 best movies of 2019 before even seeing this movie, because this is honestly the best movie of 2019 that I saw personally. I loved everything about this movie. It was incredibly well directed, well acted, well filmed, well scored, just A-plus filmmaking. The biggest positive of this movie is just all the filmmaking that went on with this movie. Everybody has been saying this, and they are right. 1917 is an experience you need to see in a movie theater. Roger Deakins is hands down my favorite cinematographer working today. He won his first Oscar finally for Blade Runner 2049. Incredibly well deserved for Mr. Deakins. And I think he has his second Oscar coming to him in the cinematography category. The first 10 to 15 minutes of this movie is characters walking and talking with the camera following them in front of them and behind them. Okay, there's probably a person holding the camera in those certain situations. And then 20 minutes into the movie, once we're going on the adventure with these characters, the camera is still following them. They're walking and they're ducking down and hoping the enemy doesn't see them and shoots them. But then we go to some certain puddle shots. I was just like, how did they do that? Sam Mendes is the true MVP for this movie. He directs the heck out of this movie from start to finish. He knows the story he wanted to tell. He was inspired from old stories from his grandfather who was in World War I. And just the way Mendes directs this movie, the story he presents. What I love that Mendes did with this movie is that he gave you a story you can follow. The characters are given a very important mission. You know the consequences of this mission that are going to happen if they don't complete this mission, because 1,600 men are going to die. Like, you can follow this story completely if you're not into war movies. This movie accomplished something that I think personally was missing in Dunkirk, is that having characters you can root for and follow. And I completely cared about the two main characters of this movie, George McKay and Dean Charles Chapman. George McKay. I have not seen him in any other movie before, and I want to see him in more movies because he gives one of the most underrated performances of last year. His character has a really emotional backstory. You follow his character, and it's just incredible the acted performances these two guys gave, and that I actually cared about them and didn't want them to die going into this mission. The battle sequences in this movie that do go down, there aren't a lot. This movie is completely focused on story, but once it gets to the big battle sequences, it feels earned. Before I give you guys my final overall thoughts on 1917, if you guys really enjoyed this review and you want to see more, please hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button because I do tons of movie reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. In the end, guys, Sam Mendes' epic one-take war movie 1917 lived up to all the hype. It was well worth the wait. I loved everything about this movie. If I did my top 10 best list before I saw this movie, it is my favorite movie of 2019. Surpasses Avengers Endgame for me personally. The acting, the score. This is an experience that you must see in an IMAX movie theater. So if you live near one, go see it. You will not be disappointed. On my rating scale, 1917 absolutely gets an A+. There you go, guys. That was my late movie review for 1917. I am so sorry, guys, but there is nothing I can do. I had to wait for this movie, and I'm finally happy I saw it. Guys, what are your overall thoughts on 1917 if you did see it? Did you love it like me? Did you think it was okay, or did you absolutely hate it? Let me know down below in the comments. Guys, look forward to more movie reviews coming out this weekend. I'm going to be seeing Just Mercy, Like a Boss, and Underwater. Look forward to all those reviews. Thank you guys, as always, for watching this review. All my social media links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.